Oh, right, welcome ladies and gents. Doctor Who is now run by raging narcissists. Yes, and he's saying it himself. He's proving it. Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies dismisses critics of his decision to focus the series on queer themes. And, quote, in dark little corners, people might argue, but that's not the real world. He also goes on to say, and we'll take a look at it, he also goes on to say about how, he's just basically doing his own life. You're not employed to write stories about your own life, mate. You are employed to write Doctor Who stories, not Russell T Davies stories told through the lens of Doctor Who. You random weird fantasist. So we'll dive into this today. Again, this isn't new that he's a narcissist or any of these people are narcissists. Of course they are, but we'll dive into it. Hit subscribe if you're new here, guys, and turn the bell notifications on. This is great content for me. Every single interview, it's like a gold mine of content. So I hope you're enjoying the witticisms as I go through this, or these interviews, should I say, and discuss it all. So yes, let's take a look, shall we? So as you can see here, in the opinion of showrunner Russell T Davies, the bevy of criticisms levelled towards his decision to make queer themes a central focus of Doctor Who are not only inconsequential, but ultimately detached from fan sentiment in the real world. Coming from the Welshman who's surrounded by London lovies. That's not the real world, mate. And thank God London is not the real world, because that place is a hellhole. Genuinely. I don't know if you guys know any of this, but yeah, it's an absolute garbage shithole at the moment. I would not advise going there. Like, it's dangerous, genuinely. So, yeah, let's take a look and see what's been said here. So, Davies offered this defence of his latest take on the Time Lord during a May 2024 interview. So, like, just before it was all released. And I do wonder if they're going to change their tune, like, when they get the ratings and stuff. Because they're all big talk before release. Don't watch it, go touch grass, we don't need you, you're racist, you're trans, all this other crap. So I do wonder when they get their figures coming through, they're like, oh shit, yeah, we should shut the fuck up, maybe. So no, it's an interview with Samantha Casey in promotion of Doctor Who's return to the airwaves. So at one point, making note of how the show, and quote, just keeps leaning more into queer themes and everything, especially since the specials, Casey asked Davies if he could speak about leaning into that more intentionally, which is clearly obvious, but no, he's going to deny that. So Russell T Davies replied, it's funny, because to be absolutely honest, it's almost not that deliberate, because that's the life that I lead. Ah, okay. So, what? It's the life that you lead. I thought this was a Doctor Who show, not Russell T Davies' biopic. Huh. Right. Okay then. Thus revealing the narcissism. And this is what all of these people do. So a lot of these people were hired on DEI merit. Not all of them, but a lot were. So didn't earn it. Merit. And these individuals then proceed to just inject themselves into everything. It's a self-insert attitude. So that's why we're getting consistent garbage lately. Because this is the fruits of the DEI generation coming through. Good times, Hollywood. Good times, all media. You really screwed up. So anyway, continues further. I wrote a series called Queer as Folk in '99 that broke down many barriers, and I'm never going to step back from that. Even if someone asks you to. In fairness, no one's ever asked me to step back from that, but they should, shouldn't they? And I just think it doesn't even feel particularly queer to me. That's because you're bent, mate. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's why. That's why it doesn't feel particularly queer to you, because you're viewing it from yourself. It's your lens that you're viewing it from. And that's not the role of a showrunner. The role of a showrunner is to view it from a fan's perspective. What am I going to do to create something which is going to be is actually going to be competitive in the market and good for fans, thus generate profit and revenue. But they don't see it like that. They don't care. It's super bizarre. Anyway, he said further, it feels natural. It's 2024. I know, and it's a hellhole at the moment. People couldn't be more miserable these days than they've ever been. It's not good. 2024 is not good. And we're all embracing this. No, we're not. Twitter might kick off, and in dark little corners, people might argue, but that's not the real world. You want to bet? Do you want to bet? Now, he is right here. He says the real world is one of acceptance, and with battles to be fought and votes to be gained. Now, he is right in saying that the real world is of acceptance. People are incredibly accepting, especially in the UK. Like, massively so, demonstrably so. But you push people to their absolute limits. You're almost snapping the cord of people's patience with this shit. People have had enough. And if you're employed to be Doctor Who showrunner, be Doctor Who showrunner, not Russell T Davies biopic showrunner. It's really not that difficult, or it shouldn't be. So closing out his thoughts on the topic, Davies would then add, I'm not naive to the problems that exist, but God, it's a more welcoming world. Yes, but you've pushed it too far. In schools, we now have people who can come out and be happy and thrive, which, when I was that age, was literally impossible. So that's got to be a better world. So I simply write quite naturally. I don't think about it that much. We can tell, as that is my world. And I'm trusted by my bosses to put my world into my writing on screen. And they shouldn't trust you anymore, should they? Because the ratings are not particularly great, quite frankly. You know. 32%, eh? 32%, hey? That's not good, is it? That's not good at all. In fact, so funny about that is that didn't Rotten Tomatoes hide that for a whole, like, 2 days? Yeah, they did, didn't they? That audience score is not going to go up. In fact, it was at 32 before, then it went to 35. Now it's back down to 32 again. So it's going down. Yeah. And also, barely anyone's reviewed it. No one can be bothered. 250 ratings? That's not good. That's not good at all. So, yeah. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. And I've covered some of the rest of this article here in terms of the discussion, things like that. But like I said, it's not a good thing when you have... I mean, predictably, of course, everyone in mainstream media loved it. Because, you know, I mean... Anything close to having, you know, Peen's touch, they're all over it seems, which is just beyond me. But this level of narcissism from the showrunner, where he will just openly admit that, no, I'm just going to put myself in all of this. I'm not even thinking about it. Again, yeah, we can see that. It shows, mate. That's nothing to be proud of. And this is narcissism. This is the DEI generation coming through, being narcissistic, not writing for the fans, which is what you're supposed to do. Not respecting the fandom, which again you're supposed to do. And this is where you get. It's just bizarre. It's a weird attitude to have. But all that happens is people switch off the TV. More people than ever are not watching TV. And hilariously, the population's only gone up. Work that one out. I mean, you adjust that for inflation, which, you know, the population has inflated. It's not good. It's demonstrably terrible. So, there you go. There's a reason why people aren't watching this crap. Because it's crap.